Okay, hi everyone, welcome back, and in this update we are going to check out VECHAIN's price chart and we have quite a bit to talk about. So first things first, if you remember the last time that we talked about VECHAIN, I think we were right in here and the idea was that we are probably going to get another move on the downside in order to take this important low, and then we can have a bounce back in order to continue this uptrend starting from the lowest low down here about 2.2 cents. And well, unfortunately, that did not play out. However, the general scenario, I would say, played out, but now I'm going to argue probably this was a WXY to about this point, and since in here you are able to identify a beautiful 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave down, well, okay, instead of having an ABC zigzag, I'm thinking about having still starting from this point an ABC. And as you can see, since in this phase down, we didn't take the low of our A leg. Okay, this pattern is called an ABC running flat. And overall, I'm actually still bullish in VECHAIN despite the recent move on the downside. Why? Because simple reason. In terms of Elliott waves, if you want to argue that we have hit our final low around here, I don't know, let's say this is like a very important support, then okay, off of the lowest low in here, you need to be able to find a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave. This specific structure is called an impulsive movement. Rules for it are we should not have overlapping of the waves between wave 2 and 4, and in any kind of 5 wave, our wave 3 should not be the smallest wave. And when it comes to the sub waves, I think you probably know it in case you are a regular viewer. 5 wave up into wave 1, 3, and 5. And for our corrections, we can have different scenarios. Let's say sure, ABC into 4 and the WXY into wave 2, and pay attention to this very important point. You see, even if you want to argue the lowest end, since maybe you are able to identify a 5 wave off of it, then okay, even according to this thing, after completing this impulsive structure, what are we going to have? You know it, we are going to get one way or the other a move on the downside, and this, my friends, is why I am still optimistic in VECHAIN. Let's go on the live chart. You see, now I'm gonna say this point was the end of our wave 4, followed by, if I just take this one, excuse me, another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave up into wave 5, and well, on a higher degree, as you can see, we have completed a beautiful 5 wave on the upside. So maybe it is time for a move down in VECHAIN. The question is, where are we in this move down? Can we say maybe this is going to be the end of it? I honestly have my doubts, and I'm actually currently thinking about having a 5 wave impulsive structure in here, and here are the possible sub waves. You see, let's just summon more. Okay, pay attention to this. It seems like that in here we are having an ABC as opposed to an impulse, and this is actually quite important. Why? Because now we are going to argue that this is a wave 1, as you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into 1, correction for 2, another move down into wave 3, correction not to about this point but to around here, probably in form of like an ABC flat into 4, and another move on the downside into wave 5, which on a higher degree might be into wave 3, correction for 4, another move down into wave 5. Let's change the colors to white. There we go. Now here's the situation. If this scenario is happening, then okay, it means two things. Number one, this move down in VECHAIN soon is going to come to an end, and number two, overall our move down may not necessarily be over, because having a 5 wave off of the highest side usually means that this is the beginning of a new phase down. Now in terms of the pattern, then okay, if you want to be optimistic, and I do think we should be optimistic, well, okay, we can consider the possibility of having an ABC zigzag, which the subways for it are like this: 5 down into A, correction for wave B, doesn't really matter, let's say WXY, and then another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave down into C. Now let's go on the live chart and see what is going on. There we go. So in my view, soon in VECHAIN we are going to get a move on the upside, but that is actually going to be most likely a slow and choppy one into probably, I'm going to argue, a larger degree wave B. And then what? Well, we are probably going to have another move down into our ceiling. Now at the moment, I don't really think we should focus on this thing right in here. Right now, our main focus should be on the coming move on the upside after just probably having another small move down. And when we get this, we are going to make new updates and talk about the shape of it. And I hope I explained everything well and you understood what is going on in VeChain. And until the next update, I hope you have a wonderful time. Goodbye.